This is Bhajana Rahasya class, October 20th, 2010. This is the second introductory class to the Astamayama Sadhana Bhakti chapter, describing how a devotee at the level of prema, how he meditates on Krishna's pastimes while chanting the holy name, and how he enters into a deep understanding of the 8th verse of the Shikshastakam, Ashlishya Mahamparatam Panashtaha. For us, of course, we're not on that level of perfection in bhajan. Prem bhajan, it's called Prem Sambhog. Prem Sambhog bhajan. It's a method, a way of worshiping the Lord, a way of remembering the Lord for the Jatarati Sadhaka. Prem bhajan at the level of Mahabhav, and which is a very exalted state of Radharani's love. And who are we and who is Radharani? There's a vast difference and space and elevation and dedication that we can never even bridge to enter the realm and threshold of Madhanakya Mahabhav. As a mandri, a perfected mandri in our Siddhadeha in the spiritual world, we can experience something of Mahabhav, but not Divyonmad Mahabhav. That's Radharani's purview alone, not Lalita Sakhi, Rupa Mandri, no one. And that's what this sadhana is all about. This last one we're discussing is about that. So yesterday we described the 4 requisites that are required. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there's 4 requirements to study the Bhajana Rahasya. And they were pretty not so easy to even meet those requirements. The entrance examination, if we don't have these qualities, then it will be difficult for us to very adequately practice Nam Bhajan according to the guidelines of Sri Bhajana Rahasya. And he said that we need to practice Astamayama sadhana, then we need to have these 4 qualities, or let's say attributes. One is that we have to be committed, deeply committed to Raganuga Bhajan. Second is we have to have no other ambition. No ambition for money, college, career, family. It's bhajan, bhajan, and bhajan. It's nishtita bhajan. I don't want anything else but to serve Radha and Krishna day and night. As a sadhaka, as a siddha, somehow or other remember them and serve them, and I have no other ambition in this world. And the third desire, or third quality, is to be free from the contamination of family life. Which means even a grihastha can take up this path. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a grihastha. But in the time of his life, when he started this book, and this path of strictly Nam Bhajan mixed with Smaran, and remembrance and prayers of these various rasic verses that he includes here. There's about 25 times 8. There's 200 verses. Basically, this is one of the components of the bhajan path, the step-by-step bhajan path. One of the components is shlokas, rasika shlokas, that describe Shraddha, Sarvasanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrti, and Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and Prema, the 9 steps of devotion to perfection and Prema. So there are 200 shlokas. This is part of the bhajan. These shlokas are very much part of the bhajan. And then the main part of the bhajan is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then, so we're going to hear that. So, if we're grihasthas and we're like Bhaktivinoda, he was retired from his family life. He had a very large family and a very illustrious life of so much accomplishment in the material world and so much writing and accomplishment in the spiritual circle of writing 100 books. And so now in the last 4 or 5 years of his life, he retired to his bhakti kuti in Puri as a vanaprasth, and then he took these sannyas. It's called the sannyas diksha, which is actually, it appears to be what was used now as they call it Babaji, because it's the Paramahamsa stage of sannyas. Sannyas has 4 stages: Kutichak, Bahodak, Paribrajak, and Paramahamsa. And Paramahamsa is the 4th level of sannyas, where the individual devotee, he gives up all association with the society, even in the capacity of preaching and udar, or welfare work, preaching. And he adopts the white dress, Paramahamsa. So now, of course, it's generally called Babaji. Babaji is called bake. You take bake dharana. To accept bake dharana means to accept the sannyas order. So he did that. He was a grihasta, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then he took this sannyas vesh, which in his case it was Paramahamsa level of sannyas. So it was white cloth, but it's actually called sannyas diksha. And the mantra that sannyasis get and the mantra that these Paramahamsas get, which we nowadays call Babajis, is the same. Gopi Bhav mantra. Because they're all of them, sannyasis and what are now called Babajis, because even the terms are used. He took sannyas diksha. So we think when we read this in biographies of Vaishnavas, great saints of Braj, it'll say he took sannyas samskara, sannyas diksha, but he didn't have a tridanda, and he didn't wear a saffron cloth and give classes and travel around. He became Bhajanandi. 3 stages of sannyasis are Goshtinandi, the Kutichak, and even he doesn't do so much preaching, he's purifying himself. Then the Kutichak, the Bahodak, and the Paribrajak. Especially the Paribrajak, he's doing the preaching as a sannyasi with saffron cloth. Then the 4th level of sannyas is called Paramahamsa, Paramahamsa Vaishnava. And he is also sannyas, but he's wearing white cloth, and he's called a Bhajananandi. You've heard these terms. Goshtianandi, Bhajananandi. Bhajan is mostly internal solitude, internal worship, quiet worship, meditative, smaran especially. And he doesn't make any sound. The Goshtianandi, Goshta means sound, vibration. There's 2 types of devotees you must have read in Prabhupada's books. There's the Goshtianandi, you've seen? Goshtianandi and Bhajananandi. So this is he shows that yes, you must be free from family entanglements to practice my process of Bhajana Rahasya. Living as a vanaprastha, in other words, no wife, no kids, no grandchildren. So it doesn't mean that you never got married, but it certainly means, and you can say free from family entanglements. You could even go so far that you can live with your wife and do this bhajan, if you're really free from material entanglements. Yoshit Sangha. You're just living like a brahmachari, like vanaprastha. But the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his idea of free from family entanglements was to live alone in the Bhakti Kuti, and the family is somewhere else in Orissa, no longer in Puri, and no communication, no cell phone conversations, and no meeting, and just sannyas, social suicide. So he combined 6 components in his book, and it's a brilliant presentation of bhajan, which is based on Lord Chaitanya's shiksha, bhajan shiksha, shikshastakam, chaitadharvana marjanam, and the Mahamantra, primarily. And then all of this shiksha of Lord Chaitanya, and all this chanting of Mahamantra, and all of this initiation as a Gaudiya Vaishnava is meant to take us somewhere. Prema Pamartha Mahan. It's meant to take us to the land of Prem. Prem Dham Shri Vrindavan Ki Jai. And in that land we must have a Siddhadeha, in our spiritual body, Sarup. And in that Sarup then we'll enter the Leelas. We won't so much meditate on Ashtakali Leela. We'll be in the Leelas. Leela Pravesh. And so the book is bringing everyone to the point of realize prema. That's the goal, isn't it not? The goal of everything we're doing, hopefully, is prema. So he's teaching us sadhana. It's called Prem Bhajan. Prem Bhajan, but it's Nam, you could say Prem Nam Bhajan. How about that? You've heard of Shuddha Nam, you've heard of Prem Nam, he's a Premika. There's chanting Nam at the level of Vaidhi sadhana, there's chanting Nam at the level of Prakriti Vaishnava. The Vaishnava Praya is also chanting the name, it's called Bhakti Nam. He's chanting the holy name, the same mantra we all chant. But his or her basic idea is bhakti, which means bhog, enjoyment. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy, and really happy. Good food, good clothes, all surround myself with sattvic pleasure. All kinds of nice sattvic bhog. Before I was having rajasic pleasure and bliss and tamagun and rajagun, but now I've understood, I should be vegetarian. And I should have a God-centered life and have a little temple and have a little artik every day, morning and noon, and give a little donation. So it becomes like sattvic. And it's bhog. It's just an old wine in a new bottle. And he feels very peaceful. He feels very peaceful. He feels very good about himself. And he feels, and if he's a little wealthy, he gives donations to sannyasis and gurus, and he feels a sense of worth. Yes, I'm very worthy. But the fact is that his basic modus operandi is sense gratification. I don't mean to speak too bluntly, but the truth must be understood, because the tendency for the living entity for self-delusion is rampant and very deep. That we can delude, self-delusion means we can delude ourselves into thinking that we're really doing well. I'm really a good guy. So the first thing is the Ashtayamas, because he calls it Ashtayam Sadhana Bhajan. Every Gaudiya Vaishnava that has any footing in serious bhajan, in serious devotional practices with attachment, and some degree of attachment, he is doing Ashtayam Sadhana Bhajan in his own way. Ashtayam is, yama means kaliya, Ashtakaliya, you probably heard of this, A-K-L, Ashtakaliya Leela, Bhajan. So they're all so listen what I'm saying. Every Gaudiya Vaishnava, which generally means the serious Gaudiya Vaishnavas are practicing Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, thousands of them, literally, some way or other. And they're following the path of Advaita or Nityananda, or Gadadhar, Shamananda, Prakeshwar Pandit, some different smaller paramparas, branches of Chaitanya's tree. We're following the Saraswat path, Chaitanya Saraswat approach to Astakali Leela. And there's a beautiful quote from 1934 or something by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And he says, don't think that this Astakali Leela is only for the Babajis. It's our treasure. Gaudiya Math, it's our treasure, Astakali Leela. The eightfold pastimes of Radha and Krishna. This is the very strict, no nonsense, no fake charlatan devotees. The most strict Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki. Yeah. He's saying that this Ashtakaliya Leela is for us. He said after someone has chanted for 20 years, Ramachari or whoever, anyone, chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra under Guru, means Bhaktisiddhanta, for 20 years, then he's eligible to start meditating Ashtakali Leela. Okay, let's look at this quote. This is the quote. So, I've only been 10 years in the movement, but half the people here have been 20 years already. And so that's the invisible, tangible time, right now time. But what about last life? Maybe you chanted 19 years last life, right? So then this life, you're only 1 year in the ISKCON Russia, and then you say, hey, I'm into this, I like this Ashtakali Leela, I want to read about it, I want to follow it. Hey, what is this, you're a new devotee, this, that. What does new devotee mean? New, old, big, small, what is this? Oh, you're 20 years old, you're a new devotee. I'm 60, you're old devotee. I'm old. Doesn't mean old devotee. Okay, the body's old, I'm like, you're young and healthy and strong, and you got a long way to go, and all good luck for you and blessings. And I'm about finished. But old devotee means, how many times you've coming around life after life practicing devotion. That's the old devotee. He may be 60 years old, and he's just starting his first practice of bhakti because he got the ahoitaku kripa of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava created a Sukriti for him and gave him Harinam. He's a gross animal before he met Guru. He didn't have any Sukriti in his pocket. He was just a boozer and a jagai and a madai. But many of you sitting here, this may be your 4th life or 7th life or 10th life. Doesn't mean you're 19, 20, 34. Doesn't mean anything. All this big this. You can see my last life. You know who I was in my last life? Do I know who you were? Do I know this gentleman, this brahmachari, who he was in last life? Always rushing, he's so-and-so's disciple. I said, what is this? This is all stupidity. We believe in last life? Do we believe we had life? Yes? Everyone believes. Tehino shvinyatadehi. But how come we don't apply that to everyday dealing with each other and our behavior? Isn't it? Our philosophy doesn't, our walk, our talk doesn't match our walk. Our philosophy doesn't match our practices or our behavior. Krishna's coverage said, beautiful statement about the blend of philosophy and behavior. He said a Gaudiya Vaishnava wears his philosophy. Like we wear a shirt, right? A vest, whatever. Sorry. Philosophy doesn't sit in your brain. It doesn't sit in your mouth with shlokas. Wearing it means we can see it. Whatever I'm wearing, you can see it. Oh, blue shirt, green shirt, whatever. So if we actually understand the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, it's very, people can see it. Devotee bhava is aprakrita. Is bhakti transcendental? Have you ever heard this idea that bhakti is transcendental? Yes? So bhakti is transcendental. It's Bhakti Devi. It's Radharani. Bhakti is an amsha of Radharani. It's a Shakti. Ladini Shakti mixing with Samvik Shakti is Bhakti. Samvik Shakti is Radharani. Vidya and Avidya Shakti is Radharani. The 16 Shaktis, she's the controller, the personification of Samvik Shakti is Balaram. But where does he get his Shakti from? Where does Krishna get his Shakti from? Himself? Radharani. Where does Balaram get it? Where does Balaram get himself from? He gets himself from Krishna. And where does Krishna get his Shakti from? From Radha. So where does Balaram get his Shakti from? Radha. If you want any money, you have to go to the ATM. So she's the anytime Shakti, ATS. So Avidya Shakti is hers, and Vidya, Avidya, Akarshani, and Samyogini, and Viyogini, and Gir, and Pushti, and all these Shaktis, 16 Shaktis are with Radharani. So this expansion of Radharani, Ladini Shakti, that's Radharani, you've heard? But Bhakti is also Ladini. And Bhakti is also Samvid, knowledge and bliss, knowledge and love. This is Bhakti. And that knowledge potency coming from Radharani. And so Bhakti Devi is a Devi, Bhakti Devi. Sadhana, there's someone called Sadhana Devi, you maybe never heard about it. Sadhana is a female, Sadhana Devi. So she lives with it. So then if a person has bhakti, then he has a prakrita bhav. He's a transcendentalist. Arjuna, what does Arjuna say? Krishna. Arjuna says, oh Bhagavan, hey Bhagavan, hey Priya Saka, hey my friend. How does a transcendentalist sit? How does he speak? How does he act? What does that mean, a transcendentalist? It means someone who's wearing his bhakti, wearing his philosophy, which means he's showing his bhakti. He thinks like he thinks like bhakti. He thinks like a person, like a devotee. And some people, haven't you ever heard the phrase, he doesn't act like a devotee? Have you ever heard this phrase? So we expect that a devotee acts in a certain special kind of way, isn't it? Because devotee means Bhakti Devi lives with him. And Amsha, Radharani's entered into him, Radharani Pravesh. Amsha means a part, an expansion. The 6 components of Bhakti. So we have the Astamayama, the whole thing is called Astamayama Sadhana Bhakti. So the 8 yamas, everyone is involved or approaching or touching or absorbed in or entered into the Astakali Leela of Krishna. We read about it. It's in the Krishna book. Astakali Leela is in the Krishna book. In the morning, Krishna goes out with the cowherd boys. That's Astakali Leela. In the afternoon, he comes back. That's Astakali Leela. And he has the Maharas dance with the gopis. That's Astakali Leela. Oh, really? I didn't know. I thought it was Krishna book. No, it's Krishna's Leela. And it's Nitya. And it goes on day after day. He has rasa dance more than once and every night. And he goes out with the cows every night, every day, and comes back, and that's in there. Isn't it? So this book, it prepares us, it gives us some contact with Astakali Leela, because every yama, every Shraddha bhajan at the level of Shraddha enters into Leela. Bhajan at the level of Anartha Nivritti enters into Leela. Bhajan at the level of Sangha enters into Leela. Bhajan at the level of Prem serves in the Leela. At the level of Prem, you enter the Leela and you serve there in your Siddhadeha. At the level of Bhav, you enter the Leela and you serve. You don't meditate on it, you enter into it. You see, so that's Astamayama. That's one of the 6 components of practicing Bhajana Rahasya. And the other one is the Shikshastakam prayers. Very amazing. Chaitodarpana Marjanam. Chaitodarpana Marjanam is Shraddha. So this Ashtayama, the 8 time periods of Radha Krishna's eternal pastimes. This is, I think I wrote a little bit about that. So I will just review these Astakali Leelas, because even just to mention the name of these pastimes, and many of you of course are quite deeply involved with these subjects, and so this will be quite a review. And anything good bears repetition. So these are part of the 6 components. The first one, Ashtayama Leela. So we'll just review what they are and how they relate to bhajan, at what level. First one is called Nishant Leela. Ant means end, Nisha means night. The end of night. This is the first period of the day. There's 8 periods. 3:36 a.m. to 6 a.m. These are the pastimes that take place at the end of night. And this is called the first step in the process of bhajan. It's called Nishant Bhajan by Bhakti Thakur. And it's also called Pratam Yam Sadhana. Pratam means, I believe, the first time period. Pratam. We say Nishant or Pratam. So this is Pratam Yam Sadhana. This is the sadhana that one does in this time of the day, first of all, 3:36 to 6. And it represents Shraddha, which is the first step in the step-by-step path of bhajan outlined in Bhajana Rahasya. The first step is faith. Faith in the bhajan process. Faith in Raganuga Bhakti, faith in Bhakti Thakur, faith in Guru, Vaishnavas, etc. Ado Shraddha Tata Sarasanga. The second level is Pratak Snan, Prathah, 6 a.m. to 8:24. And this is called the Pratakaliya Bhajan, or Dvitiya. Dvitiya means 2. Prata means 1 or first. Dvitiya means 2. Pratam Yam Sadhana. Now at this time of the day, from 6 a.m. to 8:24 a.m., Pratak Leela, Krishna's waking up in Nidhiban or some other Kunjavan, and he's with Radharani, lying with Radharani. Then he leaves and very quickly goes to Nandagram, and she returns to Yavat or Varsana. And then he wakes up in Nandagram, and they dress him and bathe him, and he takes his breakfast, and he wrestles and plays with the boys and goes to the barn and milks the cows. And then by 8:30 or so, he's leaving for the cow tending pastimes, going to the pastures. So this particular second level of bhajan, this deals with 3 steps on this, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls the progressive path. The progressive path of bhajan. So the 3 steps that this time period deals with, and this chapter deals with, is sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti. And you see that these are also the 9 stages of devotion, which is one of the components of bhajan path, step-by-step path, taught by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So what happens here is that the devotee, one associates with devotees, sadhu sangha. He practices the limbs of devotion, bhajana kriya, and this results in the elimination of anarthas, anartha nivritti. There's a lot of different titles. Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls this anartha nivritti in sadhu sangha. So that sounds about where we are. This is chapter 2, which chapter 2 he calls Dvitiya Yam Sadhana. We call it chapter 2. It's the second time period of the day. It involves living with sadhus, associating with sadhus, especially guru, shiksha, diksha guru, practicing bhajan and becoming free from anarthas. Sound familiar? Anartha nivritti. So we will very much concentrate on that chapter and meditate on that particular lila. All these details we've described over the years, and we'll review also later. Third period is Purvan Lila, 8:24 a.m. to 10:48. Purvan Kaliya Bhajan. It's also called this Purva Nishta. This is a level of Nishta Bhajan. This is the fourth step of progressive bhajan, associated with firm commitment to the devotional path, nishta. First step is shraddha, the second step is sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, and artha nivritti. Then, I guess this is the fifth one actually. Nishta, this is nishta. Then the fourth level of bhajan and Bhajana Rahasya is called Madhyan Kaliya Bhajan, or Madhyana Leela. This is 10:48 in the morning till 3:36. This is a big period, 6 hours a day. 6 hours in the morning, 6 hours in the evening. And Krishna is, of course, with Radharani. In the afternoon, midday Madhyana Leela, Krishna is at Radhakund, 10:48 to 3:36. And the evening time, he's with Radharani and Vamshivat, Ras Leela, or in Govardhan. So this particular chapter 4, this is a summary, an outline of this book, Bhajana Rahasya. It deals with ruchi bhajan, how to develop taste. Ruchi. Chaturtha Yam Sadhana. This represents the progressive step of ruchi. Spontaneous attraction for practicing devotion. Now, usually the level of anartha nivritti and even nishta, we're steady, but we have to force ourselves to be steady. We have to put a lot of energy into being steady, like a military person. We have a schedule and we strictly, okay, get up at 3 o'clock and chant a rounds and go to Mangalarti. Do you really want to do it? Do you really have a taste for it? No. But it's the temple program, or it's my guru asked me, or I'm supposed to, or I think I should, I'm trying to, want to, and there's no other way, and they say this is the only way to get purified, and it seems to work, and I like it. I'm trying, and it's nice, but if you had your, and then you say, but if you had your choice, would you rather sleep till 9 o'clock? Yeah, actually. I don't mind working hard after that, but I feel tired, you get up so early, I feel like a little sleepy. So, ruchi is not something cheap, it's not like ruchi for halava. I really have ruchi for halava. And rasgullas, and rubbery. That's a taste or attraction, but it's not ruchi and bhajan. If you want to know if you have ruchi and bhajan, what does it mean if you have ruchi and bhajan? It means you've never in your life press the snooze alarm on your clock. You know what snooze alarm is? You understand? In Russia, like that. You have a clock that goes beep, beep, beep. Not like this one. It says snooze and light. You turn it like that, you see a little light, and then I set this for 3 o'clock in the morning. But it's only 2:50, and why is this thing? It went off early for some reason. Or it goes off at 3, okay? It's set for 3, it goes off at 3. I was up late, a little tired, this, that, boink. Just 10 minutes, okay, bye. Then, already 10 minutes, so fast. Just 10 more. Because it's 3 o'clock, and the Mangalarti is 4:30. I have a lot of time, then 3:10, and 3:20, 3:30. Have you ever had this experience? It's only me. Or it's some. Okay, we're like friends. So guess what? You and me and all of us have no ruchi in bhajan. Like once, a great Siddha Mahatma, I told this story, but there's some new people, so we'll tell old stories to the new people. A great Siddha Mahatma, he said, he was dying. He was a great bhakta. And all his disciples, they gathered around and said, "Oh, Guruji, listen, you have been very quiet about your inner secrets, your rahasyam of bhajan. Can you tell us your formula? Because you're going now, somebody we should know. You can tell one of us or all of us. Everybody come, I'll tell all of you." So then the Guru said, "Yes, please listen tightly." Now when the Guru spoke, it sounds very easy. The Guru said, "My path to perfection is very easy. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat prasad, I take prasad, honor, whatever you want to say." He actually said eat. "I eat when I'm hungry. I sleep when I'm tired, and I get up when I'm rested." It's easy, right? So then the Guru, after a few days, he left, and he went to Nishant Leela. The disciples sat down, Hanish the Gosi, let's discuss Guruji's last teachings. It was very easy. What he said, yeah, it's very easy. I think in a couple of years or a few months, we can all attain perfection. He's so kind and merciful. Let's look at the first one. He said, eat when you're hungry. So what do we do? Ashram breakfast is at 9 o'clock. And we all sit down and eat at 9 o'clock, because that's breakfast time. And then the ashram lunch is at 2 o'clock, or 3, and we all sit down and eat at 3. But a lot of times I'm not hungry because I ate so much for breakfast. But it's there, so I'll eat it. So that doesn't mean eating when you're hungry. And then at 9 o'clock at night we have dinner. And oftentimes summertime I'm like full from lunch. I didn't do anything, and but I figure maybe I'll feel hungry late, so I should just stuff a little something, a little torasa, a little something inside, and then. But I'm really not hungry, but I'm not going to tell anybody. And so then so that particular day, I really should have eaten once. Because I was only really, really hungry once. But habit is second nature, and I eat 3 times a day or twice a day, and so I did it. So I can't follow Guruji's instruction because this is my regulation. In other words, the Guruji was not following the path of regulation. He was following the path of bhav. He's a premi bhakta. He said, "I'm not hungry. Why should I take honor prasadam?" So now this is the yamas we're just reviewing here. So this is ruchi, which means spontaneous attraction for practices of devotion. The 5th level of bhajan is Aparan Leela, 3:36 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's right now. It's called Aparan Kaliya Bhajan or Panchmayam Sadhana because it's number 5. It's the 5th period of the day, and this is the 5th type of bhajan. This is the 6th step in progressive bhajan. Because it could be listed as 7th, but there's like 2 parts of prema. The 6th step of progressive bhajan is called asakti, which means attachment to devotional practices. One is to have an attraction, and one is to have attachment. Because the level of ruchi, he's really attracted. He automatically gets up, and if he just wakes up anytime, I was supposed to get up at 3, but it's 2, and I just woke up. I don't know why. I feel pretty good. I just chant. I like to chant or read. There's some ruchi there. He doesn't crawl back into the stool like the proverbial worm. Prabhupada would say that. The worm is in the stool, and then he's on some stool, and you take him out of the stool on the ground, he crawls back to the stool. So Prabhupada said, we're like a worm in the stool, we're sleeping in the stool we're sleeping, it's like being in the stool, forgetfulness and deathly condition, unconscious, swapna, not Krishna conscious. And then someone, wakes us up and says, come out of that way of life, stop sleeping. No, let me go back to my sleeping. Let me crawl back to my sleeping, it's so nice. But then at the level of asakti, one is attached to devotional practices, and of course there's more of it means you're actually attached to Krishna as the object of your devotion. At the level of ruchi, you're attached to the practices. I like to chant. I like to get up early. I like to do puja. I like to do archana. I like to go to the program, morning program, or serve Guru. You're attached, you're attracted, spontaneously attracted. You have ruchi, you have taste, you like it. You really like it. More than sleeping, and you like it more than eating and all these other things. But as a Sakti, your ruchi is there, you're very attracted, and you actually have attachment to the object of your devotion. The object of your practices is the person, Krishna. You become attached to the Nam, Rupa, Guna, and Leela of Krishna. You can't live without meditating on Krishna's form and seeing him and thinking of his qualities and pastimes. Because the Sakti is right before Bhav and then Prem. Very high thing. High level of devotional attainment. And the seventh Astamayama is Shayan Leela. Shayan Kaliya Bhajan. 6 p.m. to 8:36, called Shashta Yam. Shashta means 6. That's the 6th period of the day and the 6th type of sadhana, which represents the 7th step in progressive bhajan, which is the ecstatic stage of bhav. This is bhav bhajan. The first manifestation of love of God appears. Radha Govinda appears. The 7th is called Pradosh Leela, 8:36 in the evening till 10:48. Pradosh Kaliya Bhajan, Saptama Yam Bhajan, which is 7th period and the 7th type of bhajan. This is called Prema, where one is dedicated. This is called Viraha Prem. Prem Bhajan at the level of Vipralamba. Vipralamba Prem Seva. So one is at the level of Prem, but he's feeling intense separation from Radha and Krishna. So that's very high. And then in other words, one is dedicated to love and separation. And the 8th period is called Nisha Leela, Ratri Leela, nighttime. 10:48 p.m. to 3:36 a.m. Ashtama Yam Sadhana. This is the 8th step of the practice, a progressive path of Prem Bhajan. Bhajana Rahasya teaches the progressive path of Prem Bhajan based on Nam and a mixture of these other components. Astakaliya Leela or Ashtayam Sadhana. Shikshastakam, and the Shikshastakam, the Mahamantra, and then the 8 pairs of the Mahamantra, the 9 limbs of devotion. That's 4, and 5 is the Praman, Shastra Praman, the references, the 200 verses which are referred to in each of these sadhanas, and how they blend with the Shikshastakam, and how they blend with the holy name, and how they blend with the Leela. That's the 5th. And then the 6th one is presenting this bhajan for 2 types of bhajanandis, the external and internal bhajan. The external bhajan is for the ajata rati sadhaka. That means a devotee like us who is practicing devotion who doesn't have bhav. Ajata, not born. Then jata rati means he has rati. Rati actually means bhav here. So this one path of bhajan, Astayam Sadhana, can be applied. This one step-by-step process of bhajan, or path of bhajan, can be applied to 2 types of devotees. The bhava prema bhakta, or the bhakta like most, I suppose, all of us who's not on the level of bhav and prema. We'll continue tomorrow with these more elaboration of the 6 components. It seems that maybe there's 2 more days of introduction or so. And then we'll start finishing the discussion on Astayama Sadhana. But Sri Bhajana Rahasya ki jai.